Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are actually going to talk a little bit about the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, honestly, my guess is by the time some of you guys watch this video, the draft might already be over. So at the time of this recording, the draft is about 24 hours away. Jeremy Grant was just traded to Portland, and I will say this. I can't think of a smoother maneuver than what Portland just concocted with the Detroit Pistons. That was a win-win trade. Both teams have higher aspirations. Yes, the trade was this. Jeremy Grant for a 2025 first-round draft pick. Both squads, bro. Both squads. This is just a chess move. This is one of the chess moves in the entire game. So don't stress if you're a fan of either team and you're not a fan of that trade. Obviously, a cat like Jeremy Grant isn't going to move the needle for Portland into like championship contenders, but they're headed towards the right direction. And we learned that they were headed in the right direction pretty much at the trade deadline last season. I like what Portland has, and here's my stance real quick. This is my stance on Portland. Do they have a championship roster at the current moment? No. Can they change it? Yes. Damian Lillard, about to be 32 years old. I am all for, trying to find stars in the draft. But here's the bottom line. Here's a reality statement. This is a cold, hard truth that older OGs are going to understand and appreciate, and the newer generation isn't going to get this quite as much. Stars are rare through the draft. Stars are rare in general. And when you start talking and bringing up the word superstar, that is unbelievably rare. It's crazy how rare it is for teams to have drafts where you even just pick a goddamn star and you can be in the lottery, and if you get a star, it is the most money thing in the world, bro. Take it from a Bulls fan who had the 7th pick 3 straight seasons. We had the 7th pick 3 straight seasons. Wendell, Laurie, Kobe. Not in that order. None of them are stars. All 3 of them are satisfactory players. None of them are superstars. None of them are stars. So when I look at Portland right now with the 7th pick, not only were you able to keep your 7th pick in this year's draft and get Jeremy Grant, that's just money. But you also have all this cap space. So if I'm Portland, here's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going all in on Damian Lillard. All right? You have a superstar on your team. I'm telling you, bro, it's difficult to get superstars in free agency. It's difficult to get superstars in trades. And it's even more difficult to get superstars in the draft, let alone at the 7th pick. I'm trading it. 100% I'm trading it, and I 100% anticipate the Portland Trail Blazers will end up trading that. I start hearing OG Anunoby's name come up in rumors for the 7th pick. If Portland's able to concoct a trade like that, personally, I think both teams win. Because OG Anunoby is a good basketball player. But just like Jeremy Grant, I would actually place OG above Jeremy Grant as far as value and team worth goes. But they're not going to single-handedly move your team into championship contender status. What Portland currently is getting is a solid playoff deep team. That's currently what they are building right now with the Jeremy Grant trade and the OG Anunoby rumors. So yeah, I'm trading that 7th pick for OG Anunoby or a cat like OG Anunoby. If you can get a guy better than OG, that's even better. I mean, at that point, you genuinely hit the jackpot at that point. If you can get a cat better than OG Anunoby, because personally, I don't think there's anybody at 7. The way I'm seeing this draft is there's nobody at 7 that's going to move that needle for me enough. Toronto might be a little bit different because Toronto is in, they're in a little bit of a different stage than Portland. You don't have a 32-year-old superstar. And like I said, bro, they're hard to get. If you have one as it stands right now and he is happy and content with your basketball team, I am doing everything in my power, unless he's holding us back, which Damian Lillard is not doing. I'm doing everything in my power to retain that cat. And especially that it's Damian Lillard, you know damn well I'm retaining him. You know damn well I'm doing everything I can do to please him. The smallest shit like trading for Jeremy Grant. What does a first-round pick matter right now? A 2025 pick, first-round pick that isn't even owned by your team. What does that matter? Is it going to fall number 1? Statistically speaking, you have a 1 in 30 chance of that happening. Soon, by that time, you're going to have a 1 in 32 chance. Yes, you heard it here first. You're going to have a 1 in 32 chance in 2025 to get the first-round pick, and that's not even how that shit works. So you know damn well I'm trading a first-round draft pick for Jeremy Grant. 20-point-per-game scorer. He can shoot threes. You can put him at 3. You can put him at 4. He's not a total liability on defense. I think that was a money move by Portland. And even from Detroit's standpoint, Jeremy Grant doesn't do anything for me. If you're Pistons fans watching this, I'm sorry, bro. Jeremy Grant doesn't do anything for me. I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep it a $1.50. Jeremy Grant does nothing if I'm the Detroit Pistons. Portland's different. Contending. You're trying to contend. You're trying to get to the playoffs. You're trying to be a playoff caliber team. That's where Jeremy Grant can help you. Is ultimately be that fourth option. I said fourth option. Because Portland is not done yet. And like I said, we learned this at the trade deadline last year. Blazers fans knew this. They learned this. They understood this at the deadline last season. Like, oh shit, we're not messing around. It might seem a little crazy right now, but we're not messing around. And man, if you watched my videos from before that lottery, I was really hoping for Portland. I was really freaking hoping for Portland to some way, somehow, it's actually not that crazy, but get into the top 4. You know, get into that top 4 because that would have been the icing on the cake for just a genius concoction of chess moves. Now, if you really want to get into the Blazers roster in general, you got a bunch of nice boys out there. It sounded kind of sus. I apologize. It sounded super sus. You got a lot of nice cats out there. All right. Symons is interesting to me because clearly he's a starter. But if you can find a way, I'm not saying Bradley Beal because I actually don't know if the money is going to line up as it stands right now with the Jeremy Grant trade. I don't know if the money's going to line up where you could actually even afford Bradley Beal at this current point. I would imagine if Portland really wants Bradley Beal and Bradley Beal wants to be in Portland, they'd find a way to make that happen. But I don't even think Portland is... In Portland's standpoint, I don't even think you really need Bradley Beal. You know, I really like what Symons provides for him. If you can find a way to get him into a sixth-man role where he's still getting 30 minutes a night, but he's coming off of the bench, that's where I think Symons would thrive on a championship contending team. But even right now as the roster stands, I mean, you can get very flexible. I mean, first off, Drew Eubanks really came alive for him last season, so he's a diamond in the rough. You're bringing him back. Then you found out about guys like Justice Winslow, Watford, Trendon Watford. Like, those are 2 nice cats right there. Josh Hart, bro. I mean, Josh Hart is genuinely one of the most underrated cats in the league at his position because you look at a boy, we talked about this on my daily live NBA show. Link's going to be in the bio. Ciro Asio and I are live every single day talking about this kind of stuff. You look at this, Josh Hart, bro, it reminds me a lot of Jay Crowder, reminds me a lot of PJ Tucker, where they're just boys. Stop using the damn word boys, bro. Stop using, I'm 23 years old. These cats are older than me. You got a lot of cats like Jay Crowder, you know, PJ Tucker, guys who can play offense, they can shoot the 3, and they're really freaking good on defense. They're just good culture pieces. They help establish the tone. They help establish the culture. Their coaches love these boys. Oh my God, bro. Look at my Joe Paterno. Coaches love these dogs. All right, so Josh Hart is money to me. Nurkic, genuinely, I can go either way. I think if I had to have an opinion on it, I would say I think Portland should look elsewhere. I'm sorry, Portland fans, if you're big Nurkic guys, but I think they should look elsewhere. If they run with Nurkic one more season, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I am remaining hopeful for it. So I think Portland is in a much better situation than you would imagine. I know Dame's about to be 32. I know he's about to be 32. So I'm looking at a 3-year max window. Can Dame play longer than that? I'm sure he can. But especially the way Kyle Lowry pulled up into these playoffs, Chris Paul, I am looking for, this has to be the last year where you're not satisfactory with a championship. It has to be, guys. It has to be. Even that is a stretch. I am looking for the Raptors, or I'm looking for the Trailblazers to make moves like teams with the Raptors where you're getting OG. Maybe you're getting a nice bench piece, a nice rotational player, a guy like Josh Hart, and you're getting Jeremy Grant. You're using your first-round draft picks. You're using any tradable asset that you have. That's what I'm doing if I'm Portland. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you're a Portland Trailblazer fan and you're still watching this video, I love you so much. Like, seriously, straight up. Please go ahead and comment something down below because I really want to hear from you guys, the fans. Even if you're not a Trailblazers fan, I still want to hear from you. But please go ahead and drop a comment down below. Also, my daily live NBA show, the link's going to be in the bio. It's going to be in the comment section. Check out my Twitter. Check out my Discord. Do whatever the hell you want. I hope you guys have a blessed night, and I'll catch you cats later.